Hey, what's up, y'all? Marjack79 here. What we have right here is my first movie review of 2023. Hooray! This is a weird one, man. I always find it easy to talk about movies that I really, really hate or I really, really love. Ant-Man has never fallen into one of those two spectrum. It's always just been kind of meh for me. Never really outstanding, never really something that I hate either. But here we are. I'm doing a review of Ant-Man and the Wasp in the Quantum Verse. Tell you what, let's get at all the juicy parts first. Comedy was sorely lacking in this movie. Definitely the first two Ant-Mans, we had our boy Lewis kind of piggybacking the bulk share of the comedic talents in the first two Ant-Mans. Unfortunately, he does not make it into the third. I know numerous YouTubers have made their own theories or fact-made videos of why he is not in this third one. I know he got like a promotion at his security company or whatever. I don't really care. I'm not trying to research and explain all that. Just know that he's not in this movie and he is sorely missed. Kaaaaannng makes her superhero debate in this movie as well. She doesn't really add anything new to it though. She gets big, she gets small, she throws small bombs, big bombs to make stuff grow and shrink. Whatever, just same old, same old. That's the one thing about this movie. There's nothing really any new powers at all. It's kind of all kind of the same. Shrink, grow big, but I guess that's Ant-Man, right? So I think that's kind of the core, some of the stuff that you kind of miss when all these movies first come out. It just all seemed new, but once you hit your second and third iterations of the same character, it's just not really a whole lot left to interact with. That's going to be new for each individual character, I guess. And not necessarily saying that that's a bad thing, because if it's not broken, then why fix it, but definitely something still worth mentioning. That's the other weird thing too. I don't think I need a fourth Ant-Man movie. Hopefully this is the last one. I think the core reasoning for Ant-Man 3 in the Quantum Verse was for the introduction of Kang. I feel like Ant-Man, Scott Lang, and his crew, I feel like they have completed their story. I could definitely see them reoccurring in the future Avengers movies, but at this point, I don't think we need any more solo movies from these characters, or with this core cast of characters to continue on with another franchise of movies. Does that make sense? I mean, that's definitely not necessarily stating that they're bad at all. It's just, I'm kind of over it. I'm ready for something new. I'm just ready for something fresh. I'm sure there was some long drawn-out reasoning why Kaaaaannng got replaced from the actress that portrayed her in Endgame. I don't really care to research or delve deep into it. Just know that these two are not the same actresses. But with that said, it's not that I found her annoying. I'm lying. I kind of found her a little bit annoying, but I feel like all teenagers are supposed to be a little bit annoying to grown people in their own specific way. It's just her reasonings for doing certain things, like her not revealing her outfit to her dad until like her life was in danger. I'm like, okay, you could have helped him fight some of the things when y'all were first made it into the Quantum Verse. It probably would have made the beginning of the trek a little easier. Just saying. And then her hiding stuff and just nitpicks for sure. Just definitely worth pointing out. Scott and Hope's relationship in this movie is as strong as ever. That's definitely one of the aspects that I did enjoy. I hate those movies that once they establish the superhero's relationship with his significant other, then in like the third and fourth one, they go back on it and let's throw this wrench in here. That does not happen here at all. Their relationship is as strong as ever. Nothing is going to break them up, and that's cool. Then we have Hank here. That's cool. I really liked his aspect in this movie as well. He has an army of ants. That was pretty sweet. Literally had an army of ants take down Kang. Oh, spoiler, just so you know. That was his army of ants that kind of helped deliver the final blow to Kang's outfit. So that was pretty sweet. It would be funny. It really doesn't get any more Ant-Man than that. But, you are watching an Ant-Man movie, so you have to include the ants in some form of capacity. Even though I don't know why they couldn't take some ants and try to take down Thanos in some type of way. But here we are. Janet has a strong role in this movie as well. She's actually the one that found and helped Kang survive in the Quantum Verse when he was sent there by his other variants of Kang because he's evil. So it was really cool to see her get a big role in this third picture. Really did enjoy her part in it for sure. I definitely found it funny when she was expressing that she was in the Quantumverse for 30 years, and her and Hank were like discussing their past relationships when they thought that each other was dead or whatever. Janet ended up with a character played by Bill Murray, and Hank was like, really? Him? And Janet was like, it was 30 years, honey. I had needs. He was charming. She was like, you didn't find anybody else during those 30 years? And she was like, yeah, but she wasn't you, baby. I don't know. That may have been my favorite part in the whole movie. I know, weird, but y'all know, if you've watched any of my movie reviews before, you know I'm a hopeless romantic, so I found that cute and hilarious. And then that takes us to the main reasoning and purpose of the entire film, in my opinion. Kang, Jonathan Majors Kang. It's very cool to see him in the true Kang role and not just in the one who shall not be named. It was really, really cool to see the seductive, the insanity, the thinks that he's in the right, where even though he wants to destroy entire universes, just to destroy his variants from destroying the entire universe. So his method of destroying the entire universe is justified. It's that maniacal, that methodical, that insane point of view that really makes a great villain, and Jonathan Majors did an amazing job by putting that to the forefront, and him alone is worth the price of admission of going to see this movie, and puts it honestly into the higher pantheon of MCU movies, in my opinion. I cannot wait to see more of him. He was great. I'm very excited to see him take on this new version of the Avengers. Do I think this new version of the Avengers is going to top the original Avengers or Infinity War or Endgame? Probably not. But, I'm sure they're going to do the best that they can to put forth a product, and I think Kang will definitely be a worthy villain to take them on and perhaps even take them down before being taken out himself. I can't wait to see it. I already like him better than Ultron, that's for sure. Kind of a tie with Loki so far, but I think Thanos is still the reigning king, honestly, maybe for obvious reasons. But I definitely can't wait to see what is in store for us for the future. The future is definitely bright. He had some cool powers, man, that's for sure. I mean, he was definitely filling out all of the supervillain notches. He was shooting out Kamehamehas. He had telepathy. He's got an army. He's got big cannons. So it all looked good to me, man. He was definitely filling out the I'm a big villain in the MCU row. So I can't wait to see it. Now I figure we take the opportunity to tackle the big elephant in the room, Modoc. I'm sure if you're a passionate comic book enthusiast, this character probably pissed you off because they literally took the Yellow Jacket character, brought him back alive, and put Darren in this Modoc suit. Probably a slap in the face to all of the classic Marvel comic book enthusiasts from the 60s and 70s. But as a typical MCU fan that kind of joined the Marvel team later on, really didn't bother me too much. I just don't care. I just don't care that much about this character to be that involved in it. But, if you know me like I know my Dragon Ball, whenever they mess up the canon that goes like 30 years back, it pisses me off. So it was probably a bad idea. I mean, he was funny, don't get me wrong, but I could see people being pissed off about this one for sure. I can almost guarantee on why this one got review bombed as hard as it did on Rotten Tomatoes. I can promise you this was the core reasoning of why. You don't take your classic canon characters and just completely rewrite them like this. I don't know why so many times we have to go through this, but it looks like Marvel just has to learn this lesson yet again. Modoc is a classic character. They changed him completely. You don't do that. That's going to piss way too many people off. That's all it is to it. Now, my overall closing thoughts on the film. Was it great? No. Did it suck? No. Was it down the middle of the pipeline? Sure. I give it like a 70, like a 7 out of 10, man. Maybe a 6.5 out of 10. Definitely not the best MCU movie I've ever seen. Absolutely not the worst. It was a movie that I enjoyed. It was a great popcorn flick. It had cool action scenes. It had great music. It had cool set pieces. The Quantumverse was a marvel to look at, especially if you saw it in 3D. Really, really cool. Definitely enjoyed that. Scott Lang, definitely enjoyed seeing his character again. Hank and all the ants. Janet being in action. Cassie Lang being the new superhero comer. Definitely Kang stealing the show for sure. His introduction definitely propelled this movie into the higher territory of MCU movies, not just the meh ones. So that's why it gets a 7 in my opinion. It is a movie that I am happy that I watched, but I will probably never watch on repeat again. Definitely not one where I would go back and watch like certain set pieces or scenes of it. It's just a movie that I'm glad I saw for the one time, and I'll probably never think of it again until the next Avengers film comes out. All right, that is going to do it. Now, as always, thank you guys for watching this one dude's YouTube channel's review. I'm definitely not one of those channels that I have like 50 guys in the background running around doing research and grabbing every single Easter egg and nitpick and chronological micro crumb that I can squeeze out of the movie, every little ounce. It's just not me. I'm just one dude who likes to talk about movies, and for some reason you guys like hearing me talk about movies, and I can be more appreciative of that. By watching these videos to completion, you guys allow me to continue doing what I have always loved to do, taking my childhood and continuing it into my adulthood through the passions that have always brought joy to my life, and I could be more grateful for that. You can follow me at youtube.com/marjack79. I am also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, my friends, I will see you guys on the next one. Catch you guys later. Bye. Avengers! Assemble.